I never thought I'd see my wife make a police officer freeze in his tracks, hat in hand, pale as a ghost, just because he realized who she really was. But that's exactly what happened on my front porch, in broad daylight, while our HOA president tried to bleed us dry. And let me tell you, Kayla Sanders picked the wrong house. Act 1, the first clash. When Julie and I moved into Meadowbrook Heights, I thought we'd finally found peace. $2.5 million gets you a dream home. Manicured lawns, 3-car garage, gardens so perfect they looked photoshopped. What I didn't count on was the dictator who ran the HOA like her own little kingdom. I'm Blake Ward, software architect. Work from home most days, so I see more neighborhood drama than I ever asked for. Usually it's small stuff, whose trash can is too close to the curb, or whether fences should be cream or beige. But one Tuesday at 7, I heard the doorbell slam twice like a drill sergeant announcing herself. I looked out, and there she was, navy blazer, heels clicking like gunfire, clipboard thicker than a Bible. Kayla Sanders, president of the HOA. I was halfway down the stairs when I heard Julie open the door. My wife, Julie Parker, is the calmest person I know. I've seen her handle family emergencies like she was sipping herbal tea. But when Kayla announced, "Your property is in violation of 17 community standards. The fine totals $3,500. Even I froze. Julie just smiled, tilted her head, and asked, "Could you show me exactly which municipal code gives the HOA that authority?" I swear, I saw Kayla's eye twitch. Most folks would have panicked. Not my wife. She went straight for the foundation of Kayla's power, legal authority. And Kayla, she rattled off a list like she was reading scripture. $2,000 for the wrong shade of roses. $1,000 for our black mailbox instead of bronze. $500 in processing fees because, apparently, moving into the neighborhood without begging her blessing was a crime. While she ranted, our elderly neighbor, Mrs. Collins, cracked her door and whispered across the lawn. She destroyed the Morgans the same way. They had to sell their house for half price. Then she vanished. That was the first time my stomach dropped. This wasn't about a mailbox. Kayla had done this before, ruined people. I wanted Julie to shut it down right there. "Honey," I muttered, "just tell her you're a judge." But Julie gave me that look, the one she gives right before she dismantles someone in court. "Let's see how deep this rabbit hole goes," she whispered. And that's when I realized my wife wasn't just calm. She was hunting. So, Act 2. Escalation and the turning point. 3 days later, Kayla marched back with reinforcements. A contractor who wouldn't meet my eyes, a briefcase full of fake legal documents, and a smugness so thick you could smell it. The fine had magically ballooned to $8,000. Apparently, math works differently in Kayla land. She slapped down papers with letterhead that looked official if you squinted, and announced, "Mrs. Parker, your continued non-compliance has escalated this matter significantly." Julie leafed through them with the same quiet focus she uses on cross-examinations. "This is fascinating," she said in that calm tone that makes criminals sweat bullets. "Could you walk me through the Davis-Sterling provisions that authorize these penalties?" Kayla's confidence cracked. And that's when our neighbor, Tom Rodriguez, stepped in. He lived 3 doors down, also sat on the HOA board. "Kayla," he said flatly, "we didn't vote on any of this. There wasn't even a meeting this week. Since when do we charge late fees without notice?" The color drained from Kayla's face. She sputtered, tried to bulldoze, but Julie went in for the kill. "Then I'd like to request a formal HOA board meeting. 7 days notice for all residents, per bylaws." "Correct." Cornered. Kayla had no choice but to agree. That Saturday, the community center was packed. Kayla strutted in with her stack of bogus papers. Julie came with a folder thick with state statutes, federal guidelines, and case law. She didn't need to reveal she was a federal judge. She just asked questions, surgical, polite, lethal. "Has this fine structure been ratified according to Civil Code 1440? 2. Are these penalties consistent with our CC Placidars? 2. Do we have authority to impose liens without statutory notice? Every answer Kayla fumbled only dug her hole deeper. By the end, the board voted to suspend all fines pending review. I should have been cheering. But when I asked Julie why she didn't just flash her badge of authority and end it, she looked me dead in the eye. This isn't about us, Blake. She's been running this scam for years. If I scare her off now, she'll wait for the next family. I'm not protecting just us. I'm building a case to end her entire operation. That's when she revealed the scope. Kayla wasn't just a Karen with a clipboard. She was part of a network, corrupt city inspectors, crooked contractors, even dirty cops. And the name Detective Morrison sent a chill down my spine. That night, for the first time, I wondered if we were in over our heads. Sitting in my own kitchen, I thought, maybe we should just pay. Maybe we're wrong to push back. What if this spirals and we lose everything? See, for a moment, I wanted to quit, to cut our losses and disappear like the Morgans. But then I looked at Julie, calm, methodical, documenting every scrap of evidence like a surgeon preparing for surgery. And I realized, if she wasn't backing down, neither was I. Act 3. The showdown. The final act began with a phone call. Kayla's voice oozed through the speaker. Mrs. Parker, this afternoon I'm bringing independent verification of your violations. Officer Rodriguez will conduct an official police assessment. Julie set her coffee down, eyes gleaming. Blake, she said. Kayla just made her final mistake. That Saturday, the stage was set. Kayla rolled up in her SUV, clipboard in hand, a van of fake witnesses trailing behind. Detective Morrison slouched nearby, radiating corruption. And then, finally, Officer Rodriguez's patrol car pulled in. Tom's brother, the clean cop. Neighbors lined the sidewalks, Mrs. Collins on her porch, notebook ready. Tom washing his car within earshot. Others pretending to garden but really waiting for the storm. Kayla strutted forward, projecting victory. Officer Rodriguez, thank you for responding. Mrs. Parker has been making threats against HOA officials. She gestured at our home like it was a meth lab instead of $1 million property. Rodriguez nodded, flipping open his notepad. I'll need statements from all parties, he said. Routine stuff. And then Julie opened the door, casual clothes, coffee mug in hand, calm as Sunday morning. She stepped onto the porch, and I swear I felt the air shift. Rodriguez looked up, pen in hand, his brow furrowed. Then his eyes widened. The pen slipped. His hand flew to his hat, and in a voice loud enough for the whole neighborhood, he whispered, Judge, you live here. Silence. Kayla blinked, confused. Judge. What judge? She's just a homeowner. But Rodriguez cut her off. This is Federal District Judge Julie Parker. I've testified in her courtroom. She handles major prosecutions. Kayla's clipboard sagged. Morrison's face turned chalk white. Julie stepped forward, voice steady. Officer, I've documented evidence of conspiracy, wire fraud, and civil rights violations under color of law. She handed him a folder thick with proof. Every fake fine, every extortion attempt, every dirty trick. Rodriguez flipped through it, jaw tightening. Your Honor, he said formally, should I contact the FBI field office immediately? That was the kill shot. From unmarked cars up the street, FBI agents poured out, windbreakers flashing. Kayla's army of fake witnesses scattered. Morrison stumbled backward, but 2 agents were already on him, reading rights. Kayla shrieked. I didn't know. I was just enforcing standards. Her voice cracked, desperation replacing arrogance. But it was over. She wasn't the predator anymore. She was prey, dragged toward a federal car while neighbors watched in relief and disbelief. Key. Closing. As the cuffs clicked around Kayla's wrists, I stood there on my lawn stunned, relieved, almost laughing. She'd spent years terrorizing families, destroying lives. But in the end, she tried it on the wrong woman, and justice doesn't bend for a Karen with a clipboard.